Welcome to this English listening podcast. Today's episode is special because it is designed to help you listen daily and speak English confidently. You do not need to repeat after me. You do not need to memorize long vocabulary lists. You do not need to study grammar rules. The only thing you need to do is listen. Listening is enough. Listening is powerful. When you listen every day, your brain learns naturally. It connects words, sounds, and meanings without effort. This is how children learn their first language, and this is how you can learn English too. Children listen for months, even years, before they speak. But when they speak, it sounds natural. It is not robotic. It is not forced. It flows. You can do the same. Just relax, listen, and let the words enter your mind. They will stay in your subconscious, and little by little, speaking will become easier. Today, I will share stories about daily life, the weather, the news, technology, society, and some reflections about the future. It will be like a long conversation with a friend. You do not need to respond. You do not need to repeat. Just listen. That is enough. Let's begin. This morning, I woke up early. The sky outside my window was gray and the air was cool. It felt like autumn was finally here. I like autumn because it is calm. It is not too hot, not too cold, just balanced. I opened the window and I could hear the sound of birds and distant traffic. The city was slowly waking up. I made a cup of coffee and sat near the window. I like to drink coffee while looking outside. It is my small ritual every morning. While drinking, I opened the news on my phone. The first headline was about the weather. Scientists say this winter will be colder than usual. Some experts even think it will be the coldest winter in 10 years. Reading that made me think about buying a new jacket and maybe a small heater for my apartment. Preparation is important because when the cold arrives, it arrives suddenly. Another article was about the economy. Prices are rising again. Food, electricity, water. Everything is more expensive. Sometimes it feels like every month we pay more for the same things. I thought about families with children and how difficult it must be for them. Inflation is not just numbers in the news. It affects daily life, small choices, what we eat, how we live. Then I scrolled down and saw an article about public transport. The city announced new trains that will arrive next year. They will be faster, cleaner, and more modern. I smiled because buses here are always late and crowded. Sometimes I wait for 3 buses before I can finally enter. Trains might make life easier. The next article was about sports. The local football team lost again last night. Fans were upset. Some shouted, some laughed, and others were already waiting for the next game. Football is drama. It makes people emotional. I don't watch many games, but I enjoy watching the reactions of fans. It is like theater. Another story caught my attention. Scientists discovered a new planet far away that may have water. Space always makes me curious. The universe is so big and we are so small. Every discovery makes me think about possibilities. What if there is life out there? What if one day we travel to another planet? These thoughts make my morning coffee more interesting. After finishing the news, I closed my phone. Too much news can feel heavy. Sometimes it is better to just live the day without worrying about every headline. I looked around my apartment. The kitchen looked dark. The tiles are old and the light is weak. I thought, maybe it is time for a small renovation. Not something big, not something expensive, just new lights, some shelves, and maybe fresh paint. A kitchen should feel warm and alive. The living room also needs change. The walls are white and they feel empty. I imagine painting them green or light blue. Green feels natural, like a forest. Blue feels calm, like the sky. I imagine sitting in that room, reading a book, surrounded by green walls and plants. That image gives me peace. I also thought about the balcony. It is small, but I could add a chair, some lights, and a few flowers. At night, I could sit there, drink tea, and look at the stars. Small changes, but they make life better. Later in the morning, I cleaned the apartment. I don't enjoy cleaning, but I like the result. I put on jazz music to make the task lighter. Music always changes my mood. Jazz gives rhythm to cleaning, almost like a dance. After cleaning, I cooked lunch. Rice, vegetables, and eggs. Simple, but healthy. I am trying to eat better these days. Less sugar, less fried food, more vegetables. Food is energy, and I want good energy. After lunch, I wrote in my notebook. Yes, I still use paper notebooks. Many people prefer apps, but I love writing on paper. It feels personal and real. I wrote some goals. renovate the kitchen, paint the living room, improve the balcony, walk more, eat better, read every day. Small goals, but important for balance. In the afternoon, I checked the news again. This time it was about technology. A new smartphone was released. People waited in long lines to buy it. I never understand why people wait for hours for a phone. It is just a phone. But maybe it is more than that. Maybe it is a symbol. People want to feel updated, modern, proud. I don't buy new phones often. I use mine until it breaks. But I admit, new technology is exciting. Another article was about artificial intelligence. Some people are excited, others are scared. AI can write, draw, compose, music. It can help us, but it can also replace jobs. That is the big question. Will technology free us, or will it control us? I think the answer depends on how we use it. With wisdom, it is powerful. Without wisdom, it is dangerous. Technology also changes how we communicate. People spend hours scrolling, watching, sending messages. We are connected, but sometimes we feel alone. Balance is important. Technology is good, but we also need silence, nature, and real conversations. Later in the evening, I went to the supermarket. On the way, I passed a small park. Children were playing football, laughing, running. It reminded me of my childhood. No phones, no internet, only games and imagination. Life was simple. Sometimes I miss that simplicity. At the supermarket, I bought fruit, milk, bread, and some paint for the living room. Yes, I am serious about painting. I imagine green walls with plants, and I feel motivated. I also bought a small lamp for the kitchen. When I returned home, I prepared dinner. Pasta with tomato sauce and cheese. Simple but delicious. While eating, I thought about health. I want to take better care of myself. More vegetables, more water, less sugar. It is not easy, but it is important. After dinner, I watched a documentary about the ocean. It showed plastic pollution. The images were strong. So much plastic floating in the sea, hurting animals. It made me think about my own habits. I use plastic every day. Bottles, bags, packaging. Maybe I can reduce it. Maybe I can carry a metal bottle and my own bag. Small changes help. Later at night, I read a history book. It describes life centuries ago, before electricity, before modern life. People lived slower, used candles, cooked simple meals. Life was harder, but maybe calmer. Reading this made me reflect. Modern life is fast, full of notifications and distractions. Sometimes I feel tired, not from work, but from noise. Books slow me down. They give me silence. Before bed, I opened the window. The night was quiet. The moon was bright. I stayed for a few minutes, breathing slowly. Simple moments like this give me peace. Finally, I brushed my teeth, drank water, and went to bed. I thought about my day. Not extraordinary, not dramatic, but good. And sometimes that is enough. This was today's story. You listened for many minutes. That is powerful. Remember, you don't need to repeat. You don't need to memorize. You don't need to study grammar. Your brain listened. Your brain understood. It is working now, even if you don't notice. It is connecting words, sounds, and meanings. Don't worry about mistakes. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. That is normal. The important part is listening. Listening every day. Think of this as exercise for your brain. Just like running makes your body strong, listening makes your English strong. Not after one day, but after many days, you will feel the difference. So relax. Trust the process. Listen again tomorrow. Step by step, your English will become natural. You will speak with more confidence. Thank you for being here today. See you in the next episode.